It wasn't until I was flipping through my favorite magazine with Cheeto-covered fingers that I would find myself going down a rabbit hole filled with infinite possibilities. A world of pixels and polygons that would change my life forever. The year was 2003, Google was 5 years old, and I was 14. My life was all about football, paintball, and video games. Not only did I love playing video games to compete with my friends or the enthralling stories, but I love video games to explore. When video games made the switch from 2D to 3D, this meant that the exploration that I loved went to an entirely new level, and it would dwarf everything that came before it. Before, you could explore up, down, left, right, but now there was a whole new dimension that I could delve into. When I was bored with the actual game, I would search every square inch of levels like Banjo-Kazooie, 007 GoldenEye, and Halo. I was constantly looking at models and the textures, asking myself questions like, why did they make it this way? Why did they do this? How many bullets can you shoot in GoldenEye? The answer is actually 99. I love the small details that were put into games, like butterflies flying around a field, or clouds blowing in the wind. I was fascinated by these worlds that I spent so much of my childhood in. But it never occurred to me, not even in the slightest, that I would be able to create something like this. I was sure that the software would be too expensive or the knowledge just too far out of reach. It wasn't until I was flipping through my favorite magazine with Cheeto-covered fingers that I would find myself going down a rabbit hole filled with infinite possibilities. A world of pixels and polygons that would change my life forever. Like many teen gamers, I had a subscription to Game Informer. That's right, an actual magazine that I could hold and touch. This had the new and upcoming games, the games I should buy, the games I should avoid. There were tips and tricks, reviews and previews, but one day after I had consumed all the eye candy of new video games that I could, I read an article that described the process of 3D modeling. As I continued through the article, enamored with things like wireframes, rigs, and keyframes, one word seemed to jump off the page: Blender. Blender was free. It was open source. I had no earthly idea what open source meant, but it seemed very fancy. And it was downloadable today. I went out to blender.org and downloaded Blender 2.3. After the software downloaded, I spent hours just clicking, pressing buttons, see what would happen. I think this is an art that has been lost with this generation. When you try something new, specifically computer software, don't be afraid to click, try, bend, poke, pinch, break, because it's okay. That is the best way to learn, in my opinion. So then I tried some tutorials. Now remember, this is 2003, so YouTube did not even exist. So these were not video tutorials. These were PDF files, sometimes physical books. Needless to say, there was a lot of trial and error. And slowly but surely, I would create. I would create everything that I saw. I added lights to give my scene a new mood. I added textures for realism. If I could think it, I could create it. I spent hours and hours creating worlds and characters. So much so that still to this day, I remember a dream where everything was made of polygon. From the moment I saw that article, something sparked inside of me. And this spark set ablaze a passion to create. I now have a career in 3D, and I get to spark that imagination into students face-to-face and here on YouTube every single day. So thank you, Blender. Thank you for opening up so many doors and opportunities. Thank you for creating a tool that allows people like me to bring dreams to life.